Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our last Children's Church Story Share before we jump into Lent and change things up a bit. This week, we're going to be hearing from the Coley family, and they are going to be reading Ellie's Dragon, and that's written by Bob Graham. I hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone, it's Liz,
Elliot,
and
Gwen.
And we're going to read Ellie's Dragon by Bob Graham. When Ellie was quite young, she found a newborn dragon with its eyes not yet open. It crawled across an egg box. It was pale and luminous with shifting rainbow colors like oil on water. Its little claws tickled in the palm of her hand. It was quite the sweetest thing she had ever seen. She called him Scratch.
Scratch is an interesting name.
Do you want to read this part?
At home, she made him a bed. Scratch opened his eyes, black as charcoal. His tiny wings shivered. He was flightless as a silkworm. He wants some matches, Mummy. He wants to eat the tops off.
Certainly not, replied her mom. You can't play with matches, sweetie. Her mom saw nothing but an empty matchbox and cotton wool. For a time, Scratch lived on the first floor of Ellie's dollhouse. She trained him to use the box of dragon litter. Ellie fed her beast nasturtiums, chilies, and burnt toast with barbecue coals for mains.
Ellie grew a little and went to a nursery. Allie saw him. He's sweet, he said. Angie saw him too. He's gorgeous, she said. Cool, added Amber and Luke, but the teacher saw nothing.
Ellie grew some more. She turned 5, and she started school. She was so excited that she forgot to take Scratch along. It clear slipped her mind. So Ellie didn't see her dragon's first flight, which was mainly downward. Ellie had her 8th birthday. Allie, Angie, and Luke were there. While the candles were still smoking, Scratch ate them. And the same night, when we were all asleep,
Scratch flew, flying all over the buildings.
Ellie's dad came to call for outings on the weekends. He never knew he had an extra passenger or that Ellie shared her popcorn.
Two years later, on Ellie's 10th birthday, Angie, Luke, and Allie came for a sleepover. But things are changing for Allie and Scratch.
Ellie still loved her dragon, but Scratch had way outgrown the dollhouse, and so had she. Dragons breathe fire. Dragons breathe smoke. Dragons fly. Dragons don't dance. Scratch spent more time dreaming on his fire blanket in the corner.
Fire blanket. That's a good name. Then Ellie was 11, and Scratch began to fade. With the boom, boom, boom of the disco poppy girls in her ears, Ellie could no longer hear the slow pump of air under Scratch's wings.
The year after, Ellie could see right through him. On her 13th birthday, Scratch's breath barely melted the icing on the cake. He didn't even eat the candles.
And then he slipped quietly away into the night.
Occasionally, Ellie thought to look for him and almost saw the flick of a tail from the corner of her eye. She thought she smelt smoke or heard a low, fiery furnace over the fence.
But Scratch had not gone. Little Sam found him wandering down the high street. A fully grown, house-trained, affectionate dragon just looking for a new home.
And Scratch will probably live with him for some time to come. You say the end?
The The end.
Thank you.
Thank you for reading that. You guys did wonderful. I really enjoyed that story. It's funny because it helps us set up for Lent this coming week, because it really focuses in on seasons of life. It's a poignant story. It's a story about Ellie, who has Scratch, her dragon, and she loves him and takes care of him. But as she gets older, we notice that she spends a little bit less time with him. Not because she's mean or because Scratch is bad or anything like that, just because a lot of the time as we get older or enter different seasons of life, we need different things. So when we're little and we have blankets or stuffed animals or anything like that, those are wonderful things to have. I actually have a couple stuffed animals on my bed right now. They make you feel comforted and safe, and that's great. And as we get older, we still seek those same things. We want to feel safe. We want to feel cozy and comfortable, but we find them in different things. And that's what's happening with Ellie. Scratch was a wonderful pet that got her through her childhood. She needed him. And as she got older and started to transition into being a teenager, she didn't need him as much anymore. And so Scratch goes off to live with the next child who does need him. And these stories are tricky sometimes because they make you a little sad. They make me a little sad, at least. Time changing and seasons, it can be hard to accept, but change does happen, and it can be good and beautiful, and it's okay to be sad about saying goodbye to something. But it's also a reminder that good things are yet to come, even if we don't know. And it reminds me of scripture. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there is a sentence that says, "For everything there is a season. There's a time to live, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to harvest." And it's just a reminder that this is normal. This is the way that life is. And so when we get to moments that are good, we can embrace them, knowing that they don't last forever, but they are there to teach us something, to love us, and to hold us. And then when those go away, something else will come to teach us something new. And that's what we're going to be stepping into with this journey of Lent. So it's perfect that it sets everything up. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that you maybe spend some time thinking about what makes you feel comfortable and safe now, and really maybe taking a moment to say, thank you. I love this. I'm so grateful for it. And then start to think of things maybe when you were younger that you don't need so much anymore, but that they were good when you had them. It helps us grapple with the concept of time and growing up, which will be with us always. So I hope that you stay safe. I hope that you have a good week, and I will see you next week for Lent. Be well, everyone.